Aloha and welcome back to Simple Living with Sophie. Today we are going to continue to follow in the footsteps of Mr. Keys, who settled here at the turn of the last century while the gold fever was at its highest. And today we're going to see if we can find the Wall Street mill where he was filtering out the gold and getting rich out here in the southwest of America, along with all the other gold diggers that came out here. So here we are really learning some interesting stuff about the first settlers out here. Life was just not always a dance on roses. No, they actually fought over access to water, and we just found this plate which talks about how Mr. Keys and Mr. Bagley went into a deadly gunfight, and Mr. Keys actually shot and killed Mr. Bagley over the access to water that we have behind here at the Baga Dam. So he ended up getting convicted. He was sent to San Quentin, where he spent 9 years before he returned out here. And that deadly gunfight was on May 11 of 1943. So we're glad to be alive here today at Joshua Tree National Park looking for the Wall Street Mill. Welcome back. Here we have Wheat Mill, and as it turns out, the resource they were fighting over was not gold. It was another precious resource when you have a limited amount of it: water. We need water to survive, and out here in the high desert it's even more important. And as it actually still is today, you still need to remember to bring in your own water from the entrance stations, because there's no running water inside the Joshua Tree National Park. So this is really interesting, and as you can see, this is old machinery, an old pump. There's an old ladder that leads up to the platform at the top of the mill, where you could actually climb up to repair the mill if you need it. So what happens here with this mill is that the wind power is used to pump out the water from the underground. So here we have the actual representation of the place where the original stone was erected from Mr. Keys when he came back from San Quentin Prison after he had killed Mr. Bagley. And this is what the stone says: "Here is where Worth Bagley bit the dust at the hand of W.F. Keys in May 11 of 1943. So this is pretty exciting, and the original stone is now kept at the Keys Ranch, where you can get access at ranger guided tours. So here we have another old truck from way back when they were actually also mining for gold at the same time as they were fighting over water. We found the old mill they were using to filter out the gold. It's really fascinating. Here we have another well from Mr. Keys back in the days that he was using to pump up water in through those pipes and up to the mill up there, where they would run the conveyor belt with the water and then filter the gold out of the rubble as they were conveying it up and down into the machinery and out into the little pipe where they could pick up the gold. Pretty fascinating. So here we have another view of that conveyor belt. So this is where the gold and the rubble would come down and be sifted through, and then eventually get into the last pipe there, where, because the gold is lighter than the rock, the gold would be filtered through and visible so they could collect it. It sure was the Wild West.